today let's do a kneeling sequence together. We'll start on hands and knees. The knees are right below your hips. Your hands are right below your shoulders, or maybe a little wider with your fingers spread apart, as wide as you can get them. Be careful not to lock your elbows. Keep a little tiny bend in them. And the toes are pointing straight out from the ankles so that when you look between your legs, you cannot see your toes. And then you just begin to tip your tailbone up and down a few times, keeping the movement mostly in the low back. And then you can begin to move the spine even deeper, including the shoulders, the neck, and the head. Traditionally in yoga, when we lift the head and heart, we inhale, and on the rounding, we tuck the belly in and we exhale. Just do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. If your wrists ever get tired, feel free to bring your elbow points right down onto your handprints, and you can do the movements from there as well. Just take a few cat-cows here. Maybe move your wrists just to help keep circulation flowing. And then we'll come back to table pose. And we're going to start with our first leg, stretching it out behind us. The back is nice and flat. The toes are curled under. We're going to push into the heel to stretch out the calf muscle. Press your hands into the mat. Keep your gaze mostly down. And then as you begin to come out of that push, you just begin to slightly lift the leg, cross it over and behind the other leg, and look over your shoulder at your toes. It feels so nice. And then bring the leg back to center and only to the height of the hip. If you go much farther, you get the hip off center from the other hip, and we want the hips squared. Toes pointing down, knees down. This is called extended cat or bird dog. The neck is long. You can add to the balance here by coming up onto your fingertips or bringing the hand up, thumb toward the sky, palm toward the side, shoulder engaged. Keep breathing. You can feel the engagement in your core here. Take one more deep inhale, reach a little longer, maybe point your toes. On the exhale, begin to round the spine and bring the elbow toward the knee or the nose toward the knee. And then inhale and reach out again. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, long. Exhale, round. And then just place the knee and hand back on the floor. Widen your legs apart. Let the big toes come together. Bring your elbows to the floor. Hopefully your head can come to the floor and you can relax. 2 deep breaths in child's pose. Roll your wrists out a little bit as you make your way back to table pose for the other side. And we start with curling the toes under, press into the ball of the foot, open up that calf muscle. Maybe 1 deep breath here. And then releasing that, let the foot float up to the height of the hip. Take a couple deep breaths here, just feeling the weight of that leg, making sure to maintain the squaring of the hips. They're both at the same level right across the back there. Whenever you like, you can begin to add the opposite hand, coming into more of a balance here. Thumb toward the sky, gazing down, long neck. Couple of deep breaths. And then take a deep breath in, maybe point your toes, and on the exhale, round and bring the elbow to the knee, the nose toward the knee, and then inhale and exhale, rounding, inhale, lengthening, and rounding. Let's just do one more here. And then bring the knees to the floor, the hands to the floor. Take your knees wide apart, big toes together, and relax, sinking the shoulders down. Deep breaths. And then bringing your head back to center, just come up onto your fingertips and walk those fingers forward as you keep trying to draw the hips back. Lengthening the spine here. Feels really good. One more big breath here. And then begin to come up onto your elbows. And we'll do a little thread the needle twist. We'll just take one hand under, bring the shoulder to the floor, the head, the ear to the floor, and you can twist and breathe for a moment. You can always play here, moving the arm around. One more deep breath. And then use the hand in front of you to help push yourself back up. You can bring your knees back together if you haven't already. Take a cat-cow in between sides. And then come down to your elbows once again. Take the other arm, slide it under. Using your hand in front of you, begin to push back up to table pose. One more cat-cow. And if you'd like, you can curl your toes and find a down dog, lifting up, stretch the legs out, let your head dangle a little bit, maybe press the heels up and down. Take your time in down dog as long as you'd like. Eventually we'll come back to our knees. And that's all for this sequence. Thank you.